Hello, this is La Madame coming to you. How's everybody doing? I hope well. I'm doing good. It's Friday. Still in the month of September. Um, so, I'm here again. Today I want to talk about a topic, and I want to talk about 50-50 relationships. That's what I want to talk about today. And I didn't open it up on live for a reason, because I want to make sure that I was able to say what I need to say without any distractions or any negativity. I really want this to reach souls as myself, as I'm learning and growing and stuff like that. So, welcome. This is La Madame in La Madame's words. And so I'm really excited to be here again once more. So let's begin. 50-50 relationships. This is going to be a topic. So again, 50-50 relationships to me, I'll tell you what a 50-50 relationship to me means. And I would have to say that 50-50 relationship for me is when you're in a relationship and you're not 100% in that relationship, meaning there's certain policies and certain rules and certain things apply. For me, it would be not being married. It would be not so much polygamy. To me, 50-50 is a little bit different than polygamy. Although it can open the doors of polygamy, for say. So you're not really 100% invested in a relationship. What it is that you only really get 50% of that person, and vice versa. If a person in a relationship base tells you that things like if you go into the relationship and have that understanding that I'm willing to go 50-50, meaning I'm not really ready to get married yet, I'm willing to date, I'm willing to I'm not willing to date other people. I just want to date a person. I want to date you date me. You have to both be in agreement of it. Whenever the other person is not in the agreement and they don't know what plans, they don't know what moves are going on, you're doing it all wrong. And I see it far too much. People just make up their rules as they go. In a 50-50 relationship, you're only investing 50%. But it has to be subject to both persons have to agree on it. I want to talk about the benefits. And then the negatives. We could talk about the downfalls. But the negative, let's talk about the positive. So the positive of a 50-50 relationship is that you have open door policy. You can leave when you want. You can leave if you want. Like I said, I'm using myself as an example because I am open and I am grown and in charge. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to watch my bleep. I can just be myself. So I'm not married. I'm not married at this time. I'm not married. I have been married before, but I'm not married. And so when I say I'm not married, that means that the significant other that I had in the past is remarried. So therefore that leaves me free. So, so use me as an example. I'm not married. So if I choose to go into a relationship with you and I say, you know what, I really don't want to give 100%. I'm not trying to be cooking, cleaning. I'm not trying to be doing all these things that a marriage, you have to play. Everybody has to play their role in order to make it work. It's agreeable. It has to be agreeable on the other person. And so the benefits of that would be that, of course, you have somebody. You're not lonely. You're not spending all your time by yourself. I am comfortable with spending time by myself. I am comfortable. I've been there before. Um, Actually, I prayed specifically on a certain type of companion that I want in my life. And God has done that. He's carried that out. He's fulfilled all my wishes. And so, you know, if you don't want to be lonely, if you feel that you're trying to save money, that you know might want to get a home, or later in the future, that's your time to take advantage of a 50-50 relationship. If you want somebody to go out and eat with, you don't want to eat alone. Today, you know what? I don't want to eat alone. I don't want to sit in front of TV and eat this steak and stuff alone. I want to share my happiness with somebody else. That's what a 50-50 relationship is kind of cool. Those are some of the benefits. And of course, the in-house D, or P, both ways. Those are benefits. Now, where it's not beneficial is when the other person doesn't know how the other person is moving. You got to know how you're moving. You can't be telling other people one thing and then doing another. You have to carry out that plan. And so where it can get sticky is when the other person could possibly want to be more I don't know why I want to say strict. I don't even know why I want to say jealous. But the other person wants the fruits of what goes along with the marriage. The other person may want the woman, let's just per se, I'm not saying that men don't cook, but let's just say a man might want a woman to cook. Like, I'd like you to cook 2-3 meals a week, and stuff like that. Or they want you to do womanly duties, and stuff like as that. Or if you get up and get ready to go out, they want to know where you're going, when you're coming back, when will you return. Out of respect, you have the right to tell somebody, as you're coming and going. But when you're in a 50-50 relationship, you don't have, this is La Madame's words, you don't have to go with that. It's what you want to do. If you want to answer your phone, you can answer it. If you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. So the down part of a 50-50 would mean that the other person could be planning something in the future that does not include you. One person could be actually thinking that they're building a relationship, they're just moving slow, and then the other person could be like, oh no, you knew that I'm trying to get this house, or I'm trying to get this loan, you knew I didn't want a commitment from the first. So when the confusion gets started like that, that's when it's gone wrong, and then of course you have to go out there and get your outside D. The inside D and P is not available. So the downside is you go out there, you do what you want to do, and and then it kind of it contradicts a little bit. It's contradicting because the other person, you can go out there and mingle, and it seems as though you're in an open relationship, but when you go home, it's different. It's like, okay, we have to watch what we say, we have to watch what we do. You can't sit on the phone talking to him or her, in front of the person that you're staying with. Your person, you have to be respectful at all times. So there's a downside and downplay of it. Nowadays, I feel that there are a lot of people that are doing the 50-50. The cost of living is so expensive. It's gotten so difficult and so hard, to where people stay. It's just they stay for too long. They don't get what they need to get, and they get out of the relationship. Meaning if they've outgrown a relationship, they stay in the relationship for the kids or for the whatever. Well, I would hope it wouldn't be no kids, but hey, to each his own. I do have children, so I'm not saying that. But yeah, it gets really sticky. So for 50-50, that's what 50-50 relationship would mean to me. Of course, there's other factors, there's other benefits. You don't have to do it all on your own. You got somebody helping you. But where it gets bad is the other person could have a different agenda. They could be like, you know what, I'm going to stay in this relationship for 6 months, and then I'm moving into a house. And then you'll be left with paying all the bills. You'll be left with paying all the rent. And so people need to know what they're getting into. You got to follow the cues. People need to really listen to people. When people are talking, when a person is talking to you, really take them seriously, because You have to listen to what they're saying, and I had to learn from experience because I would assume things. And now, now that I've gotten at the age I am now, very mature and stuff like that, been married twice, I pretty much, I can read. Of course, I can read minds, but, I can really read a person. So if a person says that this is what I'm doing, and then I'm in and I'm out, that's letting you know that that person's not going to stay for long haul. So at that time, you don't go give your 100% and try to change a person's mind. If a person says what they say, they mean it the first time. So that's my definition, and my definition of 50-50 relationships. I would love to hear from all of you. I would love to hear what you guys think or how you feel. I'm going to open this up most definitely on one of my my pages. I'm not sure which one I'll go with, TikTok or Insta. You can find me on Insta at very low _ Keisha, Keey. You can find me there. I do have a private page. I'll have to accept you to be on there. Like I said, I just got to do some screening. I got to do screening because I'm single, and so I have to protect myself and take care of myself. So if you go on Insta, I will have to approve you. Other than that, you can find me anywhere else. I'm open. I'm not hiding anything. Anything that I have out there, it's not that you're sneaking and you found out something. It's that I put it out there for you to see. So that's the difference. Again, this is La Madame. I'm coming to you once again. Let's talk. Let's chat.